So you're buying a home and it's getting pre-approved time right now for a loan. So a pre-approval is needed to submit an offer. It gives the seller proof that a lender has reviewed your preliminary documents and has determined you are very likely going to be approved for a loan to buy a home. Now, if I were a seller, I would not want to take my home off the market for a buyer submitting an offer that I don't even know if they can get the loan, or if they're a good risk or not. There's a lot of risk to a seller by taking their home off the market. So you really need a pre-approval letter. If the seller has a really good savvy realtor, they're going to say, hey, we need a pre-approval letter because otherwise this is just too risky for you as the seller. So what documents do you need to submit in order to get a pre-approval? First, you're going to have your recent tax statements. You're going to have some W-2s, some paycheck stubs, bank statements. Some want a list of all of your debts. So if you have child support, you're going to have to disclose that. Then you need to give permission to pull your credit report. Now, if you're buying a home, pulling your credit report isn't necessarily going to damage your credit report, or damage your credit, I mean. So if you're, shopping for lenders, you could have your credit report pulled, or you can go to the initial lender that you went to check out and have them give you a copy of your credit report so you could take it and shop with other lenders. So anyway, I want to get back and talk about the difference between a pre-qualification and a pre-approval. Now, a pre-qualification is just when you initially just call up the lender and say, hey, I want to make an offer on a home. I want to know if I can afford it. This is how much I make. This is how long I've been with my job. Or what can I qualify for? Here's my debts. This is, they calculate your debt ratio and they say, okay, yeah, you're within range and this is how much you can qualify for. That is different than a pre-approval. A pre-approval is when you've actually submitted all the documents. It's been carefully evaluated and looked at and analyzed, and then you've had your credit report. Now, it's important that your credit is pulled from all three reporting credit companies. For example, if you have a lender who just pulls from one, that one may have something that's not valid reported to it that brings in a lower credit score for you. And credit score really factors into what kind of interest rate you can get. So if there's something negative on there and you haven't had the other two pulled, maybe the other two are much higher. So by having all three of them together, it gives you the best picture of what your true credit is. So make sure that all three are pulled. A lot of lenders don't want to pull all three because there is an expense associated to it, and they just rather, not pay that expense. It's just less money to pay for one. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about interest rate and how to find a lender, and that's going to be in a different video. But meanwhile, if you are thinking about buying a home or even moving to Utah, I have a moving to Utah guide that I put together. It's a 40-page guide, so I spent a lot of time on it. For folks just like you, I want you to have all the information that you need, and I think you'll find it useful. So go ahead and type guide in the comment section, and you should be able to get a link to the guide. And if for some reason the link doesn't work, then go ahead and just shoot me an email, send a message, and I'll get that to you. But meanwhile, go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell so you could be up to date on all of the process and how to buy a home, how to sell a home. I'll take you on some of my property tours. You'll also see tours of the different neighborhoods, and we'll talk market and pros and cons. So go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.